Intellectual stew. Intellectual stew with James Kirkland.
Powerful and provocative, prophetic and practical,
Intellectual stew.
informative and inspirational. How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? I do.
Intellectual stew.
Come on, let's talk about it with me, the mind massager.
Intellectual stew with James.
What's up? What it do? Time for another episode of the Intellectual Stew. With yours truly, James Kirkland. Let me get somebody up here, make sure my mic is working. If y'all can hear me in the chat, say hello, say hi, say something, let me know you're there. But we get ready to get this thing started. Hold on, come here, Coy. Are you there, Coy?
I'm here.
Okay, good. Let me see if LA is there. LA, are you there?
Right
LA?
here.
You good?
I'm here.
You there?
I'm
We
good.
finally got the
I'm all
notorious,
in.
one and only Lazaric Adams on the show, and I don't know how to feel about that. I feel honored and all that kind of stuff. Let's get this music off. Let's get this thing going. Let's get this stream shared. I know that we are kind of rolling on a pop-up show tonight, and I want to kind of start doing that a little more often. I don't want to. We're gonna always do our Monday night show, no doubt. We'll always do our Monday night show, but every now and then we're gonna pop in on some current event type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if we ever find ourselves popping in on some current event type stuff, I just want y'all to rock with me, and I appreciate y'all for doing that. So listen, I'm discombobulated right now. I'm discombobulated a little bit, so give me a second to get my mentality together. But listen, I want Lazaric.
What's that?
When I told you that what we were going to talk about tonight, I'm not telling them yet. Why did you say that you thought it needed to be an all-male conversation? I'm just asking.
Hey, I mean, we're dealing with two males.
Okay.
I don't think. I mean, I'm not saying that females can't weigh in on it, but I think it'll be more. It's going to be more interesting, to see what we, come from my aspect. Being I can't really answer that without giving it away. So
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Well, and I appreciate that. But I think Coy.
I don't want to spoil it for him.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But I think Coy can definitely bring something to the conversation as well. So we're gonna let her ride with us tonight, and we're gonna get this started. But I'm trying to figure out how to share this. Pick up the link and share it to somebody else. But listen, okay, here we go. We're gonna get the conversation started now. So listen, I been listening to the news the last couple of weeks, and in the news they've been talking about Brett Favre. This is, for those that don't know, this is the meme. I'm trying to find it right quick, and I'm trying to give people also time to share the thread as well, because I want to see what kind of conversation we can put together tonight. But let me share my screen right quick. And when I share my screen, this is the meme that I want us to see. Am I sharing it? Here it is. Let me put it up right now. And what the meme says is, ESPN is being too quiet about Brett Favre. We saw Vic dogfighting coverage headlines for months, and this is considerably worse. So I'm gonna read it again. ESPN is being too quiet about Brett Favre. When Mike Vick did what he did with the dog fight, and there was coverage in the headlines for months. And by my estimation and so many others, this is worse. I mean, you know, that's to be debated because I've seen people ride down the street and almost stop traffic to save a stray dog. You know, so people feel one way about animals. I get it. I get it. But this man literally got in cahoots with government in Mississippi and diverted funds that were intended for welfare, and he diverted them to Southern Mississippi, University of Southern Mississippi, where he went to college at, where his daughter is currently playing softball at. And he used those funds to build a facility on Southern Miss's campus. So, and what makes matters worse is that when it got investigated by the FBI, all he did was pay it back. No jail time, no.
Oh wow,
man, none yet, no jail time, no nothing. Whatever $1 million, whatever the $1 million, whatever it was, he just paid it back. And so far, I understand the FBI is still looking into it. But when Mike Vick did what he did, he wasn't even at home. I don't believe when a lot of the stuff what was going on. And now, here it is. Brett Favre paid his money back and go. And so many, but this ain't the only instance like that. I mean, you think about other instances that have taken place. Look at Deshaun Watson versus the kid who was just got accused of rape the punter not too long ago. And the white dude, remember the dude LA that played for Seattle Seahawks?
The long haired little boy.
Yeah, long hair cat.
I was just looking at that. I can't get his name off, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah, but I got it in the inbox. But he beat his girlfriend, man, like crazy, bro. I mean, beat her, grabbed her by the back of her head, told her she was gonna bow down to him. I mean, busted her eye, did all kind of stuff to her, and it never made ESPN. We never heard anything about it. But let somebody get caught with a joint of African American descent. Let somebody get caught with drugs. I mean, Josh, whatever the boy's name is, he's had so many weed charges, you know, and weed is legal in so many different states. But I'm just asking tonight, Coy, and I'm asking tonight, LA, is there a difference set of rules based on color?
Absolutely. You know, our complexion is the selection for the protection.
You said what now?
I said absolutely. Those brothers' complexion was not the selection for the protection.
He said.
Do I need to say that again?
Yeah, and slow it down for the people in the back, because you know I don't hear as fast as you talk. So say it one more time for the people in the back. I just need to hear it one more time.
The above mentioned Michael Vick, Deshaun Watson. And you didn't even mention the brother, the running back used to play for Baltimore, Ray Rice.
Ray Rice. Yeah, I didn't mention Harry Rice. And we never heard from Ray Rice again.
Exactly. Never.
Ray Rice's career was over. And we're not trying to leave you out of the conversation. Are you familiar with these stories, Corey?
I can hear you. I'm sorry. I'm a little delayed. But yes, I am very familiar with the stories. Y'all not leaving me out. I'm listening.
Okay, we want you. We want to be talking too. We
okay,
no joke.
Okay, I got you.
But the thing is that I can't talk to you. I'm doing that. You've been texting me if I want you. I got somebody behind the scenes tonight, and all of a sudden he want to start trying to talk to me like I'm not on the show right now. But I'm not gonna turn the camera around. And now he's sticking me a middle finger up, y'all. His name, I'm not gonna do that to him. But this is what he's doing to me on my show in my house. Okay, and this is what this cat is doing to me in my house. I feel so okay. Now he's bowing down right now, but but real talk though, why is it a different set of rules? I'm gonna tell you what got me more than anything. On January the 6th, 2022, the day of the insurrection at the White House, these jokers decided that they were gonna overthrow the government. They went in as patriots. I mean, they busting windows, fighting against the Secret Service. I mean, setting fires. I mean, all kind of stuff, right? And then when it was all over with, all President Trump said was, listen, good people, go home. I love you. Go home. I mean, if it was brothers, we were going to jail. They
James,
would have
if
been
it was brothers, we
okay.
wouldn't have made it over that fence. We wouldn't have got close.
Okay.
We wouldn't have got close there. They'd have been the shot us
That's
down.
true, but you know, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm a little confused. It says government funding. So Brett Favre isn't the culprit, right?
Yeah, but his friend was the governor. And
Okay,
so
so
he
that's his friend's fault. And
Wow.
it's his friend's fault.
well, he's still complicit though. He could I mean you
But
you
do
can't
you think, does anybody think he would willingly put his name on a line like that, knowing that this is government funding and
yes,
being
because he's
paid?
done stuff like this before.
He has.
This
Okay.
this isn't him for first time being it. No, I mean Brett has been in some shape. Listen, Brett made $100 and some million in his career. Okay, Brett could have wrote $1 million check to Southern Mississippi and wrote it off.
Well, he did.
Well, he ended up doing it, but that wasn't what he tried. He tried to keep his money at home at first because what happened was, Coy, is that they caught him and the governor exchanging text messages. And so it was something in the text messages that led them to let them know that he knew what he was doing was wrong. He knew what he was doing was wrong. But at the end of the day, they took money from the less fortunate. They took money that was intended for the welfare system and put it into Southern Miss's volleyball program, where his daughter is currently playing volleyball.
So let me ask you this, James.
Okay.
Because I had it misunderstood at first. So he knew about this.
Yes.
I was under the impression that he didn't know that, but he knew about this.
Yes, he knew about it. And the thing was that and the thing is he tried when the FBI and everything started trying to get involved in it, then that's when he hurried up and tried to pay it back, to make, try to put that money back. Because of course, when you start dealing with federal things, especially with money type things, one of the best ways to show contrition is to pay it back before you actually get charged. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes because if you do that, that means, I guess that's showing contrition. That's showing that I realized what I did was wrong, or something along that line. But that's what he did. That's what he did. That's exactly what he did.
That changes the whole dynamic of the conversation, then. Because at first I was thinking, like Coy mentioned earlier, I couldn't fathom in my mind that he knowingly knew about this, being, with who he is, and that he went along with this. But when you tell me that, his friend is the governor, and now it all makes sense. But however, at the same time, even though he cut him a check to pay it back, if that was let's just say another black athlete, famous athlete, they would have still been talking about some time. I highly doubt they're gonna speak about that with him. Just like you said, why you think ESPN is not blowing it up? You're not hearing about it across CNN.
Isn't that something? Well, you're hearing about it now. You're starting to hear about it a little bit more.
And whatnot. Yeah, but they not keeping it out there.
What are people expecting the NFL to do about this though? Brett Favre is retired. I don't think
anybody has said anything about the NFL doing anything about it.
Okay,
ESPN,
they're not with the story.
No, ESPN don't just ESPN don't only report on on NFL. They report on athletes, former athletes. They report on all types of things. But and if I guarantee you, if Michael Vick had done the same thing, it would have been reported, because they talk about every athlete that was older. I mean, former athlete that has gotten a drug charge or that has gotten pulled over for a DUI. I mean, any of those types of things. I mean, it automatically comes out usually when it's somebody that looks like me or like LA. That we usually get. It's a different set of rules, and it's always been that way. It's always been that way. This is not the first time that has happened. And the thing is, at the end of the day, most of the athletes that are in the NFL, I mean, they're African American anyway. And so with us being majority African, we're already under a microscope. And then what they end up doing is they end up magnifying. Yeah. You said Anthony McCreary, what you said, you blame him, the governor, and the federal government for this. Yeah, I mean, all of them were complicit in this whole thing. All of them were complicit. It said, and I'm reading right now, it said the saga includes former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant, who hasn't been criminally charged. Text messages unearthed earlier this week cast doubt on the idea that Bryant and Farr were unaware of the illegality involved in some of their maneuvers. In other words, they knew exactly what was going on. They knew exactly what was going on. So,
but it was the state that I'm trying to see how Brett got wrapped up in it. He used the funding, but the state provided the funding, but the state also knew the funding was allocated for welfare recipients.
The scandal centers around federal money from the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families Fund, distributed as block grants. It potentially dates back to 2016 when Human Services Executive John Davis began directing multi-million-dollar lump sum payments to the Mississippi Community Education Center, a nonprofit that theoretically would then determine how the money would be spent. And he didn't, instead of spending it the way they were supposed to spend it, they sent it to the University of Southern Mississippi. It was supposed to be used for TANF, and they didn't.
So I understand what you're saying. I hope you understand what my question is. How is Brett a part of this? Like, the government chose to use the funding in that aspect,
but they use it at his hold on. Anthony said he can explain. I'm about to send it to Anthony.
There.
Yeah. I said that at the beginning. Yeah, he's definitely an alumni. Yeah, he's an alumni, and his daughter is there, and he's friends with the governor. So they said,
why did he have to even get involved with this though? Because it was ultimately
because he wanted the funding. He wanted the funding for his daughter's volleyball team. And so they were looking for money to do that. And so the money they chose to take was the TANF money. When he was looking for this money, Brett knew all about it. Anthony, I just sent you the link, Anthony. Yeah, Anthony, I just sent you the link if you want to come on and explain it. I just sent you the link if you want to come on and explain it. I just sent you the link.
Because that wasn't making sense to me. I'm like, man, when he has money, he could have just spent his own money. But I get what you're saying now. It's okay, I'm gonna pocket my money. If I can spend theirs, then that's what I'm gonna do.
And that's exactly what he did. And at the end of the day, he and his friend, the governor, were complicit. They knew all about it. Hold on one second. I'm trying to, Anthony, I sent you the link, so you got to look in your inbox, and then you got to click on it if you want to come on and explain it for us. If you want to come on and explain it for us, because I want to hear you. I want to hear your explanation. I thought I was explaining it right, but if I'm not, and you can explain it better, that would be even better. Please, sir. Unless you're not. If you're not gonna come on, tell me that so I can stop waiting on you. So I can stop waiting. Because the Negro just said I can explain it. So when I send you the link, that make me think you're ready to explain it now. But obviously you're not ready to explain it. Will you please come on? Because I got dead time, Negro. I'm joking. I got dead time, Anthony McCreary. Can you please come on? Or were you joking? If you're saying psych or if you punking me, let me know that now and I can move forward on to the conversation. I'm for real. I'm joking, y'all. Y'all know I do have a little sense of humor that I pull out every now and then. But Brett knew all about it, Corey. It is. I know it. You're trying to say it don't make sense. And don't think like you think right now. Think like he think. Because obviously he did it wrong. Here comes Anthony. Anthony finally came on. Lord, it took you a long time to respond. Thank you. Finally. What's going on, Anthony?
What's up? What's up, man? Oh, all right. So give me one quick second here. All right. So kind of to give you kind of just a brief synopsis kind of what it happens. So each state, no matter what it is, we've got 50 here, right? So each state is allocated funds from the federal government for welfare assistance, everything else. That comes from the federal government. They set funds aside for that. It is just like everything else, up to the state how that funding is used. All the government does is allocate it. So what happened was Mississippi decided, well, we've got this funding here or what have you. So they don't tell them exactly how to go about using it. It's just supposed to be for welfare, charitable giving, whatever it is that the state wants. So how Brett Favre got involved was he has an organization. He is a former alumni there, and his daughter goes to school there. So what he wanted to do was to look like he's doing this charitable work without using his own money, because, he's human. What I mean by that is that, it's better to spend somebody else's money than our own money, right? So he wanted to look like he's giving the school this brand new volleyball court and everything else. He didn't want to use his own money. So he got hooked up with his best friend, who is the governor, and decided that, well, where can I get this extra money from? Governor gave him the idea, well, I've got this war chest of money here that we can use for this project. Okay, so Brett Favre decides, yeah, I'll take that. And then I can just say it comes from our organization and no one's going to know about it. Just make sure that the media won't pick up on any of this. And that's exactly what happened. And of course, the media did end up picking up on it.
So they watched it through his organization, through his charity.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
All because he wanted to look like he is this philanthropist, or what have you. But no, it was never your money to begin with. So how are you trying to be a philanthropist and you're using federal funds that's for the poorest of the poor?
Yeah.
I mean, Mississippi is the poorest state in the union. So why is this even a thought in your mind to even use this type of money?
They gave me a budget.
Right.
They gave me certain funding and a budget, and we can use it. We can send it through your charity, and your charity pays for this. And
exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's one thing, and can you hang out with us, Anthony, for a little while?
Sure.
Okay, cool. And it's one thing, LA, it's one thing, Anthony, for us to, to do wrong, you know what I'm saying? And it's bad to do wrong as it is, but then to take away from the poor to make myself look better. I mean, what does that say about the mentality of how they feel about us? And it ain't even just us, because I mean, it's some poor white people in Mississippi too.
They
don't give a damn about them either.
How they feel about that when they do something like that, James? Is their money anyway? Is their tax dollars?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's my money anyway, so it never belonged to the poor.
Yeah, and that's
that they really don't give a damn about us. Period.
Bro, they have never given a damn about us. To be honest with you, I mean, and it's obvious
exactly
that they don't, with the programs that they put in place, man. To always try to keep there, and and it bothers me, Coy, when I hear people say, I'm sick of these excuses. We're still using this as an excuse. When are we going to evolve past us? And when are we going to move on? Anthony, you blew my mind when I came to Valdosta, because you told me that Valdosta was a city that was majority black.
Yes.
That blew my mind. South Georgia, a city that's majority black, but who controls the government?
Right.
No way.
Yes, and that's what's crazy. I mean, you're looking at, the most winningest high school program in the entire country is here in Valdosta. And they did all this on the backs of us. Let's just be honest about it. And it's, I'm not just saying that. No, it's ESPN actually gave the town of Valdosta an award for this. Titletown USA.
I remember.
Yeah. And the majority of the town is us, and we don't have the true representation like we should. You would think we would have black mayors. You would think most of our judges would be black. Nope. And that's why I always say that, we always worry about trying to, I need to get a raise, That's fine, but it's all about, representation, position matters. Having faces in places matters. And going back to the Brett Favre thing, my thing is, Brett Favre knew he could do it because he knew who his buddy was.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So his buddy is in a position to even be in a place to allocate those funds. So why?
It don't make sense. And the thing is, and like you say, even there in Valdosta, y'all have the majority of majority African American, right? Black people.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when my son was in the 5th grade, he was going to an elementary school here in Metro Atlanta, and he was a part of I think FBLA or Beta Club, some type of club he was a part of, right? And in the club, y'all, it was 30 people, 29 black and 1 white. 29 black kids, boys and girls, and 1 little white boy. So when we come to the assembly and they introduce the president of the organization, they introduce the little white boy. And I'm pissed. And I'm visibly pissed. I'm talking noise. I'm like, I can't believe this. The odds were finally stacked in our favor, and we still lost the election. How did this happen? So when it's all over with it, I got the parents mad now. I'm doing good. I'm talking to parents. I can't believe we did this. I'm straight being an antagonist, man. I'm going to everybody talking about this, man, because I just can't believe it. So then when I go to the teacher, black teacher, I said, let me ask you something. How this happened? She said, what? I said, 30 kids. 1 little white boy. How he become president? Well, we thought it would be a good idea since he was the only one in the group to let him be the president.
Hold on. The only one what? The only white boy in the group?
Right. Let me set it up again. 30 kids, 29 black.
Yeah, I heard you.
1 white boy. And they thought since he was the only little white kid in the group that it would be better suited for him to be the president of the group. And I said, so you gave him that idea. I said, so you want that 1 little white boy to lead all them little 29 black kids? She said, oh. I said, yeah. You ain't think about that part of it, huh? I said, that mentality is so ingrained in you that was the first thought that came to your mind. Corey, how you feel about that? I know Corey thinks differently.
Why does that thought have to even cross your mind for you to have common sense enough not to do that? Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
I can tell you what it's called. It's because it's in our face every day. It's called cultural conditioning. Exactly what it is. It's cultural conditioning. It is that, and this goes back generations. White is right.
It always has been.
What was the point in having him as the leader? I mean, did you think their parents had more to give to the cause? I mean, why?
They didn't want him to feel. They didn't want him to feel left out. I guess I have no clue. What do y'all think? Those of y'all that are listening in the audience, what do y'all think it was? Anthony said it's cultural conditioning. I tend to lean on the side of that. But what do y'all think? Why do y'all think it? At 30 kids, 29 black, 1 white, but the teacher thought it was a good idea to nominate, not even vote. I looked at my son. I said, "You didn't run." Why you didn't run for president? He was like, they didn't have an election. They just, they just appointed him president. I'm sitting.
Did she change it up after you mentioned it to her?
No, she couldn't mean that. She didn't change it, but I'm sure she handled it differently, man. I'm sure she handled it differently.
That's the problem too. When we face with situations like that, we go for it. We raise a little hell about it, but we eventually just going to go with the flow. It needs to be more done. We need to start taking a stand. We do a lot of talking about things now, but when it comes to standing up, we find a convenient excuse to lay down and back away from struggle.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
And we've gotten worse over the generations because our grandparents and our, a little bit the 70s, it was a different type of people, man. You know what I'm saying? They I'm black and I'm proud. I mean, the music that they, Mercy, Mercy Me. I mean, all the songs, the things that they put out there were things to create black pride, to create unity. And when I'm gonna use the word they, when they saw how unified we were, they did everything they could to divide us. And that's the part that I hate, that our people this day, especially these guppies.
I don't know. I don't think I agree with you on that, James.
You don't think what?
I think we were we were united in everything, and we did everything to divide us by wanting to go over there and jump that fence and have what they had when we had our own stuff, and we should have stuck with that.
That's still, I mean, but the thing is, we couldn't go until they said we could.
Yeah, but we fought, we marched,
we
fussed,
marched,
we did all of that until they said, okay, let them have this, let them have it.
Well, you know,
when we could have been, I think we could have been much further if we would have just stayed where we were.
Oh, no doubt.
Embraced what we had and grew together.
We look at Black Wall Street. They brought that together, and look what happened.
And who divided it? Who destroyed it?
The white folks.
They did. I mean, go ahead.
Remember that song? What is it? You dropped the bomb on me.
Oh yeah,
that was about that.
Go ahead,
Anthony. You know what I'm talking about.
Honestly, I think this comes from when they decided to make, because you can see kind of where it took place. We were all united and everything, but when they decided to make, well, what side of the fence you were on? Are you on the Malcolm X side, or are you on the Martin Luther King side?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so to me, that's when it started, because come to find out, they were both right. It's not an either or, it's both and. We needed our own stuff, but we also needed equality at the same time. We needed both and.
But
see, the problem was,
who are you referring to when you said they?
Us, we did this, but I also am going to also say white people put it in our. Well, I'm not even going to really say white people. I'm just going to say the media. Even during that time, you know, were you right? So you're right. So let's go with that then. So the white folks decided they were going to say, well, are you, by any means necessary, or are you going to say I'm nonviolent? Well, we can be both. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. So why couldn't we have our own schools and everything else, but also at the same time have equality? Because me personally, I look at it like this. I think Board versus Brown of Education had the right intentions, but it was implemented incorrectly. Yeah. The problem wasn't necessarily I wanted my son to go to school with little Johnny over here. No, that's not the point. The point was I wanted the same resources that little Johnny had. I want my child to have the same books quality, the same building quality, the same teaching quality. Not necessarily to go to his school. I could care less about little Johnny over here in his school.
Absolutely.
But that's what we decided to do, as opposed to saying, let's take our own. And here we go again. Allocate some of these funds that you're giving these white schools over here and allocate them into our own schools. Because Miss Johnny may know how to handle my son, while Miss Tina over here don't.
Absolutely. But even right now, we're still saying the same thing. Right. Even what we're saying, they put a carrot out. I mean, for instance, y'all hear me always talk about the Fair Housing Act of 1967, because prior to the Fair Housing Act of 1967, the Black community was as strong as it had ever been, because the judges lived in our neighborhoods, the teachers lived in our neighborhood, the police officers lived in our neighborhood, the lawyers lived in our neighborhood. We all lived in the same neighborhood. But when the Fair Housing Act of 1967 came, then they said, well, I think I'm saying the right year. If it might have been 1968, I think I'm saying it right though. But when it came, then they said we can move. Now, Corey, I understand what you're saying. You're saying that we didn't have to move. Well, they said we could, so some of us did, because there's always been a segment of Negroes that have wanted to prove that they're just as good as, if not better than, white folk, and it always has been. So if white folk had a big house, they wanted a bigger house. And then you got a certain segment of people that are going to operate from the mentality that says you can't tell me what I can't do. If my money allows me to do it, then I'm going to do it. And that's what they start doing. Why would I want to go live in a house where they're throwing paint on my walls? Why would I want to go live in a house where they're burning crosses in my yard? But we did it. We still did it. And when we did it, what it did was it weakened the substructure in our communities.
Yeah,
because it took the leadership
from us.
It took the leadership out of the community. Because, for instance, when you had 2-parent homes, and that was the majority of what consisted in our communities, then crime was on the low. Crime wasn't up there like that, because daddy was at home and mama was at home, and leaders were at home. Leaders that paid taxes, that could call the police station and say, get your butt over here or whatever, and try to make something happen. or at least if the police don't come police us, if there were men in the community, the men would police themselves. That's what gangs started out as, right? Gangs started out as community police. They lost their intent as we got along the way. But I don't want to get too far away from the conversation that we started. But
the government came with their assistance, huh? Push the man out of the home.
Oh yeah, y'all know welfare was never supposed to be a permanent thing, right?
No, that was not the intention when FDR decided to implement Social Security or any of that. It was never intended for us to live off of. It was never intended for us. It was not intended for what we now use it for.
Absolutely.
The intent was to keep us afloat.
The intent was to take care of the women when the men went off to World War II. That was the intent of welfare.
That was the intent.
When the men went off to World War II, the purpose of welfare was to build the projects and all those things so they could take care. And it wasn't just black folk; it was white folk back then.
It was white folks too.
It was white folk, and so they built projects to take care of the wives when the husbands went off to war. But now in 2022, we 60 years into this whole 60, 70 years into this welfare thing, right? Because you got generations that have kept on being the recipients of welfare. I don't know. Maybe was Brett Favre doing a good thing? I'm being cynical when I say that. Was Brett Favre? No, I'm not going to say that. I can't make that.
No.
Come out my mouth. I can't even fix my mouth.
But I guess my biggest issue is, when did it turn from welfare being an everybody thing, right? Because that's what it kind of started out as, to us being the face of it. Even though they are actually, percentage-wise, they are the majority recipients of it.
And that's another reason I say that they have tried to divide us, because one of the requirements of welfare is that there can't be a man living in the house. If there's a man living in the house, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me, please. Especially on Section 8, things of that nature. If there's a man living in the house, then they could possibly lose their benefits. And it came a time where certain women, not all women, I'm going to read what Patrick Leon Mason said a minute ago. He's an economist. But it came a certain time where women could either choose, do I take my man or do I take this welfare? And some of them chose the welfare. And then
they chose the welfare, they ain't have a man then.
Absolutely. But then it came right back behind that.
And your woman on welfare, why in the hell would you want to live off that anyway? I can't see.
Man, hold on one second. Let me say that. Village Arsonist, how you doing tonight? Nice to meet you. I don't let anybody say anything. This is not what this show is about tonight. But all I did was do have a conversation, and that was it. So, and that was my last show on it. So I'm not even on that show anymore. So I appreciate you for listening tonight. And if you want to talk about what we're talking about tonight, we would very much appreciate you. But that conversation, I don't let anybody do anything. That woman is grown, and whatever she said, that's 100% her. You're welcome to talk to her all you want to. Have a nice night. God bless you. I'm not blocking nobody tonight, though. I'm gonna let y'all stay there. But hey, I just did. Hey, that's it. Now I don't push back and I don't fight women. Now some of y'all Negroes fight women. I don't fight women in public. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't stick knives in dead bodies. I'm not a sadistic person. Somebody came in my inbox, Coy, and told me that they've been following this girl for 7 years. 7 years. That shit sounds kind of like a stalker to me.
Problem, man.
Yeah, man. I'm done. I don't even know her from Adam. I don't know you. I don't know. I ain't even mentioned the other person's party that was involved in the conversation. I ain't mentioned no names. I just let her tell her truth. That's all I did. Now, if it was a lie, that's between her and her God. But for you coming in here now with that bull, man, miss me on that tonight. Now, what were we talking about a minute ago before we were so rudely interrupted? I wanted
the women choosing the government assistant over their man.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, and go ahead.
Think about it. What I'm saying is this: even if a woman had to make that decision, do I keep my little benefits or do I keep my man? Well, if she even got to have that thought, well, you don't have a man. Because any man, period, I wouldn't care if I met a woman and she had government assistance. That's not how I would choose to live anyway.
man.
You
But
see
you
what
got to
I'm saying?
understand. But understand now. That's a 2022 eye though, LA. Let's put a 1979 eye on that, or a 1980 eye. You know what I'm saying? When we
Okay.
were in the middle of, what I don't know the lyrics to the song. I don't know the lyrics to the song. Good times. Keeping my head above water.
Keeping my head above water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they were
Hanging in
living
the
in a
child
rough.
line.
Yeah, they were standing in the child line. That was a different time back then. You know what I mean? Inflation was through the roof. It was crazy. So they might have had wanted to choose something different. You know what I mean? They might not have had it. I felt like they had a choice. And then you got to understand what happened on the heels of that, though. Right on the heels of that was when the privatized prisons industry started to rise. You know what I'm saying? After you got welfare, then you got privatized prisons. During privatized prisons, so many men were taken out of the house, and then women were thrust to the front and had to become the heads of households. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I can understand that in that situation.
Yeah. And that's I don't know, man. But my thing is that with that, I think some of us have lost such a sense of self-pride. You know what I'm saying? And that self-pride ought to make us. I mean, LA, I don't know you from Adam, but you my brother. You know what I'm saying? And if you came to town right now and you called me and you said, man, let's hang out, let's go out to dinner, I'm probably gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know you from Adam. And also I've not quite earned your respect yet. And if I have, thank God. But at the same time, I haven't earned your disrespect either, have I?
Right.
So we can cordially coexist. We ain't even got to, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand how people can live in the same world and be just so mean to one another like that.
Well, I go off of this. I got this little saying, one for your brother, and I guess you can add women in there too. One for your brother / sister, one for your brother, one for your sister, as you want for thyself. Now that's an easy saying, but it's hard to do at times.
Boy, say that saying one more time.
When it comes to the men, one for your brother, and I ain't saying your blood brother. This can be your friend, your homeboy, just a man. Period. One for your brother as you want for thyself. When it comes to the women, hey, one for your sister as you want for thyself.
Man,
simple
each
saying.
One
You've been here since you was a little kid. Treat people how you want to be treated. Now it's easier said than done sometimes, though. Most of the time, a great majority of the time. But if we was all take a step back and really take that approach, we would move. I think, man, that would put us so much further ahead.
I agree.
Instead of
what you
looking
think,
at each
Corey?
other as enemies.
What you think, Corey?
I agree with that. I think you should treat everyone like you want to be treated, and not worry about the next person. Allow people to be who they are. Your good is not my good. My bad is not your bad. That's just what it is.
But this is my thing right here, and this is what I wish we could really capture. Laden Pearls, Ashley, Village Arsonist, if you're still there. This is my thing. If we already know that especially the black family, I don't care what nobody says, is under attack because they know the strength that resides in black family. They know when we're unified, how strong we are, how powerful we are. I mean, look how Barack and Michelle shaped the universe, man, because they put an example of black love out there, man, that just was amazing for people, right? They know, and people tried all they could to talk about her and talk about him and talk about they're too perfect, all kinds of stuff, because they couldn't fathom that, because that was the example of black love. So they know what what kind of strength is in the black family, and they do everything to weaken that substructure, to divide us. They do all those things, but then we have our own internet beast where black men tear black women down, or black women tear black women down, or black men tear black men down. I can't rock with you. That's why last week with this whole interview that I did with the young lady, y'all Stu Nation, they came for me and I was kind of mad y'all didn't defend me, but they came for me a little bit in my YouTube, right? They were coming for me a little bit, talking about how I did the interview and all this kind of stuff, and how I let her lie, like this person just said tonight, and I did this. I don't know that girl from a can of paint. All I know is at the beginning of the show, she told me that I made some mistakes And part of what I'm going through, I deserve. Did she say that? Did she not say that, Coy?
She said that. She said,
Okay.
she
She said that
that
out of her mouth. She said, I've made
was
some mistakes.
making
She's-
babies.
Say what
So
now?
I don't know a person on this earth that'll lie about that.
Yeah. But she sat here and said, I made some mistakes. I deserve what I've gone through, yada, yada, yada. And then more than anything, when they started coming for her in the comments, she started crying. LA, I can't look at no woman cry and then not feel compassion for her.
Just fill me in a little bit. So she made that statement, and what were they saying in the comments behind that?
They're still dealing on what she did 4 or 5 years ago and going off, you know, and because she did some things.
Did they know? And we all done did some things.
Man, bro, let me tell you something. Boy, the girl had a baby by
some of the things I done done.
But the girl had a baby by a married man, but she ain't the only one that had a baby by a married man, you know. And I'm trying to figure out why the married man ain't complicit in this whole conversation. You know what I'm saying? Why? I mean, why? Never mind. I don't want to get into it. But the point is, she lied. I mean, she said, I messed up. I made some mistakes. At the beginning of the show, she fell on the sword. So at this point, I'm just listening. But when she started crying,
do what a lot of other men and women ain't used to do. And that's accept accountability for her own action.
Yeah, whatever, bro. Like I said, but I probably won't ever do another interview about that. And if that's fine. But they kept coming from in the comments, coming from me, telling me you don't need to do interviews. You know, you should have asked her the hard questions. You should have done this. You should have done that. Man, I purposely didn't go out and do a bunch of research because I didn't want to have a preconceived notion about her when I came on the show. I just wanted to hear her tell a story. And if she sat there and told a whole lie, I have no clue. I don't know. But if she did, that's on her. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's what I did. But the last thing what I wasn't gonna do, I wasn't gonna grill a woman, especially one that's sitting there crying in front of me on the show. I'm not gonna do it. And if you want me to do it, what you say, Ashley? Tell them what. And that's what I flat out did. Now I promise you. Now one of my homegirls, she ain't like it, so she got over in those YouTube comments and start talking to some people and tell them some things, you know. But it's okay, man. But that's what we do. We're black folk. We like all them wolves that want to come after one person and just start gnawing on.
We want to put our foot in
well, we shoot the wounded boy. LA, you remember how when you was in high school, you could see a fight going on, right? It'd be a big old gang fight taking place, and somebody that ain't even in the middle of the fight will run over there and just kick the crowd.
Yeah,
that's the worst kind of Negro in the world to me, man. Somebody that's vindictive enough to go and stick a knife in a dead body.
Ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
You ain't got nothing. The body is dying, but you got the audacity and the unmitigated gall, the temerity to go and stick a knife in a dead body. I'm sorry. I'm still on that restore such a one in the spirit of meekness. That's where I'm at on that one. You know, if I see somebody that's drowning, that's me riding down the street, see somebody drowning, and I'm just, instead of throwing them I got a life raft. I can pull them out. But instead of pulling them out, I'm gonna pour water on the drowning man. Who does that?
Black folk.
We cousins.
For real, we do it to each other all the time, man. It's sad. But listen, James, that's why we're in the state we're in.
Man, please. And that's why I have become an expert with this in middle. This is what I call it, Coy. I've become an expert in middle fingerology. I can pull that joker out at a moment's notice. Do you hear me?
But you know, people got to understand your platform, James. That's not why you're here. Your platform is not that. But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would have ate her ass up.
Yeah, I know you would have. That's why when you were asking your questions, I was taking them off right quick. Yeah, I was taking them off because the thing was, this is the thing. Did you see how she reacted when they started coming for her? She shut down, started crying, right? So if I would have came for her at the beginning of that interview, that interview wouldn't have lasted 10 minutes.
Right.
She would have got off the show. She wouldn't have stuck around. And I don't blame her. I wouldn't either. I hate being embarrassed. I literally hate being embarrassed. And I don't want to put nobody in a position where they're making them feel uncomfortable like that. I'm just not going to do it. So because I don't want to feel that way, I'm not going to make nobody else feel that way. But I know, Coy, I know, and I thought about it because I almost put you on an interview with me. But when I asked about putting somebody else on there with me, she was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't feel comfortable with that. Mm-hmm. when I first talked about doing the interview with her, I really didn't want to do an interview. Y'all know what I want. Coy, you know what I wanted to do. I wanted her to come in and sit on the panel on a Monday night. You know, because how we do our normal show. I don't do one-on-one interviews like that. Y'all know how I rock. I moderate the conversation. But based on some of the videos that I had seen about her and a lot of the stuff that she was saying, and she said some good stuff in those interviews. I wanted her to come and talk about that stuff. She offered to let me do the interview because she wanted to tell her side of the story.
Right. I don't see
That's what I did.
wrong with her side of the story. I don't know why people are coming for you about it. I mean,
Actually, that was her first interview about it.
Story. That's the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah, so I don't care, but like I said, they can all kick rocks. I don't care what size shoes they wear, and I hope they have on no shoes. But they can kick the biggest boulder slash rock they can find. I hope they fracture their toes every time they do it. I'm dead serious. I mean, like I said, you coming for me? I don't play that stuff, man. And I can fight. I can retaliate, but I'm not gonna retaliate. I'm not gonna fall into that whole internet beef. I don't know these people that have.
They don't know her. They only know what they've heard. They don't know that girl.
Send what to your inbox? What you talking about, Ashley? Okay. If they come for you, send. Okay, Ashley. I know Ashley will fight for me, so I ain't got to worry about that. I got certain people who will rock. You said what?
I ain't fighting for no damn body.
I don't want you to fight. You'll probably pay somebody to fight. That's the thing about you. So I get it. But you know that's called a contract killer, right? I mean, I'm just joking, but that's federal. That's unless you Brett Favre, you might not get off court. I'm just being honest with you now, Brett, because Brett Favre got off. He got at least he's gotten off so far. But at the end of the day, let's get back on this. There is a different set of rules, and there always has been a different set of rules. So the thing that since
it's already been written for Black people, you know, we skipped that part. It has been written years and years ago how we are supposed to be treated, how we're supposed to be judged, and how we're supposed to we're not equal. So that's.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Coy. If they say Black people are the first people, right? We say we're the first on earth or whatever, right? So if the statement is true, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. What are we today?
Boy.
Key word is shall be. The key word is the shall be. And
think about it though. If I'm just like I say, hey, I'm not saying I'm right, I'm not wrong. I'm just a question. If the first shall be last and the last shall be first, and if black folks supposedly were the first on earth or whatnot, where are we at today? Is that statement deep. Not true?
First shall be last
that's
shall
deep.
Be first.
I've always
because no matter what we do, we can't seem to get. First of all, we can't come together, and we can't get ahead for nothing.
Not collectively.
And not collectively. And I'm not gonna say they. I'm just gonna say what it is. White folks, period. They stay winning.
Bruh.
They have they issues.
That's
too.
true in our
but
time.
They stay ahead of us. They heaven here on earth. They having their heaven right here on earth. Well, we waiting to die to get there. We catching pure. This is our hell. They enjoying their heaven here.
That's something to make you think about. Go ahead, Corey.
The first shall be, and you say, you know, we catching hell. That's in our time, but the time we don't know about that didn't exist. We were first. We were already first.
Exactly. That's my point.
We're living our last, I guess.
That's an interesting thought. That's a real. Is Dawood? Are you still on here? Are you still on here, Dawood? But yeah, that's a very, very interesting thought. But I think before it's all said and done, that we will have our day of reckoning. I think we're gonna get everything that we deserve. But you know what? I'm gonna introduce another paradigm.
I think we already are. Think about it. Are we not getting everything that we deserve?
No, I don't think. Not collectively. I don't think. I don't think what we're gonna get. No, you can know because what you're trying to say we deserve. I ain't rolling with. I ain't rolling with what you trying to say.
Listen. I'm not saying.
Well, I still believe we the chosen people. I still believe we the chosen people.
Hold on. Just like we believe that they believe that
based
too.
off some of our actions.
No, they don't believe
based off a lot of our actions, and I'm not saying you know, all black folks, because we, you know, we do have our good brothers and sisters out there, but I'm saying, based off a lot of our actions, hey, if we're gonna be honest, we get what we deserve.
I understand the context of
In
what
that
you're saying.
in that aspect.
Yeah, I understand that aspect of it, but I still believe. And Cole, I heard what you just said. They think that I think they know we're the chosen people, and that's why they've done so much. That's why they have a concerted effort to try to keep us down and suppress us and oppress us. Like, you know, another thing. I'm a little older than y'all, not much, but a little bit. But when I was growing up, you never heard the term used with regards to black people as being racist. It was never used. The first time you ever heard black people being called racist was when President Obama became president, because they started using this term that he's an elitist. He thinks he's better than everybody. He's an elitist. Then next thing you know, you start calling black people racist. Then next thing you know, you start hearing black people call each other racist. And I just couldn't understand that, because racist is a term that means it means superiority, right? It means I think I'm superior. And see, in order for racism to work, that means that there's systems that are attached to it. For instance, you go to South Africa, and the population is mostly African, right? I mean, it's mostly blacks. But apartheid worked for how long? Years. Because there's different. There you go. See, racism is prejudice plus power. You know, we don't have power, so we can't exist. In order to be a racist, you got to be able to dominate another culture. And we've never been able to, not dominate, but be able to oppress another culture. And we've never been able to oppress. We don't even really have a country. Half of us, we don't even know what where we came from. Most of us, because Africa ain't a country. Y'all know that, right? I'm joking. I was being facetious when I said that. But so I hear this when but that's how people have changed.
Right, Sarah Palin.
Huh? I ain't no Sarah. No, girl, you almost made me use my middle finger rather practice it right then, but I didn't do it. I'm trying not to do that. But no, we got to do better, man. Because at the end of the day, and I didn't want to come on too long tonight. I only got about 3 more minutes, and we're gonna get off. LA, I appreciate you and Corey for popping up fast tonight. But I wanted to come on here for a minute. But we as a people, real talk, we got to figure out how to unite. And that's why, Corey, you know, we have these private conversations. Ashley, you know, that's why we have these private conversations. You know that my platform, all I want to do is unite us as a people. And is that all I talk about, Corey?
Yeah. Yes, Lord.
But they came for me like, I don't know what last week, like I'm an enemy, man. I promise you. I'm like, but that's okay. I'm done. I'm over it now. And Ashley, like, I'm going to do exactly what you said. If they start messing with me, I'm going to send them directly to your inbox. And we go keep it like that. That's exactly what I'm going to do. But no, this is fun. This was fun. We're going to start doing more pop-ups. We're going to start every now and then when we have some current events come up or something that you feel like we need to talk about. Some of y'all that are in Stu Nation, if y'all see something that y'all think we need to address, reach out to Coy, reach out to me, reach out to Ashley, and we'll address it. And if you want to come on and present it, come on, man. LA, I mean, I pop in, we get on every now and then, and I don't mind letting you on. I don't mind. Like I said, when you come on, just come on and just be yourself. You ain't got to try to be all super intellectual, super smart, all that. I mean, I know you smart. I wouldn't ask you to come on if I didn't feel like you had something to say. So just come on and just come on the show and just talk. Don't come on, because I'm tired of getting off the show, and I'd be like, they ain't coming back. Because I will say that. I'll say it in a heartbeat. They are not coming back. But I ain't had nobody like that in a while, I don't think. But I'm ready to go. I've been talking. I'm ready. I'm tired. I had a good day. But my music was about to go off. I got to wait till it come on again and get started. Hold on. 5, 10, 4, 3, 6.
You got some closing words?
Nope, not really. No, we got to unite, though, for real, though, people. We got to unite.
I got something for y'all.
Go ahead. I'm scared, but go ahead.
Nah, for real. Why pay? Ask yourselves, why pay for the pain for the cure? Nothing changes unless something changes.
You got to say it again, because you ain't got no microphone, and you talking right in front, so you got to talk slow and enunciate.
Okay. Why pay for the pain when the cure is for free? Nothing changes unless something changes.
Nothing changes unless something changes. That's good stuff.
You won't be
That's
back.
cool. You say he won't be back? You so stupid. You so stupid. You so stupid, man. He
I ain't
all
even
right.
playing on no mind.
No, he'll be all right. He all right. He all right. You called me from another number there. I ain't recognize that number. But hey, I'm out of here. The world is changing. Corey, you got anything before we leave?
I ain't got nothing, partner. You know that.
All right, cool. You sleep tonight. Did you get rid of your hives?
Man, I had some more last night. It was worse. I don't know what's going on.
I got you. I was sitting up here looking for Corey like 9 o'clock. She ain't here. 9:03, she ain't here. 9:05, she ain't here. I'm looking at the phone like, is she gonna text me? I'm like, oh Lord, let me figure this out.
Man, I was knocked out.
My daddy taught me a long time ago, a man maintains control at all times, even when it looked like he don't have it. So I used damage control fast.
Yeah.
And worked it out. And we had a good show too. So appreciate y'all. We're gonna do it. I didn't do Tuesday night last night. That's why I popped up tonight too. But if we don't have any more pop-ups, I'll see y'all on Monday night. And we're gonna have the panel on night. Not a couple. We have the panel on night. Maybe and we'll see. Yeah, I'm cool. The world is changing. Why do you remain the same? Y'all have a good night.
Good night, y'all.